everybody, welcome to a very different kind of video from what I normally do. This is totally unscripted. I have no script in front of me like I normally do for the other video essay stuff. I'm just going to be going in and ranking over 206 different cartoons. Given the year is 2025, that means it's been a quarter century of cartoons we've been able to enjoy since the start of the new millennium. So I figured, you know what, may as well go in and rank all these. There's been a lot of great cartoons in the last 25 years, a lot of not great ones, obviously too, but I wanted to go through all of these and just pick out which ones are good and which ones aren't very good in my opinion, and kind of get a chance to talk about each of them. This list is basically just an excuse for me to give my thoughts on each of these shows, because there's a lot of stuff here, and yeah, I'm looking forward to talking about them. Without further ado, let's get into the ranking. First up is Sonic Boom. I think right off the bat, that is a godlike cartoon. I love Sonic Boom, and that's easily the best Sonic show, by the way. Sonic Boom is really smart with its humor, and I feel like a lot of it is very directly aimed at the Sonic fandom, or at least it has a lot of in-jokes that I think Sonic fans would specifically get.
Try this video game. You run, roll, and collect rings as fast as you can.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
Because it's probably written by Sonic fans, to be completely honest. Like, this show is really well written.
Okay, I admit it. The Memburger VIP program is a sham. We just give cards out to disgruntled customers to make them feel special. Nearly everyone in town's got one.
I don't have one.
Well, somebody's got to pay full price to offset the steep discounts everyone else is getting.
A lot of great fourth wall jokes, too. It's not like the annoying kind of meta humor. It's like, hey, guess what? You're watching a movie, and we know that too, so we're gonna write a bunch of jokes about how this is a TV show. No, it's not like that. It's actually funny. It's good meta humor. I really like this one a lot. It was really underrated when it came out, and I think it got done really dirty just because a lot of fans were not receptive to the design changes and stuff, and they thought it was going to be bad. But the show is really well written. I think it's specifically written for Sonic fans a lot of the time. If you haven't seen this show yet, give it a chance. I think it's great. I own the full thing on Blu-ray even. I think it's a fantastic show. And it's kind of nice to see it getting a bit of a resurgence lately. Like, a lot of clips from this show will often surface like on TikTok or Instagram or whatever, because it's just a really funny show. It's great. Sonic X. Sonic X is not a cartoon. Despite the fact this list says no anime, they put an anime on here. I'm not gonna rank that one just because that's not a cartoon at all, that is an anime. But comment below if you'd like to see a list of me ranking the past 25 years of anime instead, and this will be on that list then. And get this video to 1,000 likes as well, and if I see that, then I'll do it. Next up, the actual cartoon here, Sonic Prime. I might make some people mad with this. I wasn't really into Sonic Prime. I think it's kind of mid. I did not really care for this one. It has a really cool concept with Sonic going across the multiverse and basically meeting multiverse versions of all of his friends, like Tails. Like, there's a really cool robot version of Tails who's evil and has like all these 9 like robot tails. It's pretty interesting. Like, a lot of the designs that they get for the characters are pretty cool. But, like, the story itself, I didn't think was that interesting. Maybe that's just me, but I don't know. I don't really think there was that much to gain from watching this show. It was just kind of mid. I think there's a lot more to gain from Sonic Boom, which is obviously a pure comedy show, but it really excels at the comedy. Like, Sonic Boom knows what it wants to be, and it doesn't really try to be anything beyond that. It's not being overly ambitious. I think Sonic Prime did try to be a bit overly ambitious, and it kind of failed because of that. Because they didn't really put much effort into the core story and characterization of Sonic and everybody else. It was kind of whatever. I would much rather watch Sonic Boom any day than Sonic Prime. I wasn't a fan, unfortunately. It could have been good, had potential, but I feel like they really squandered it. Avatar the Last Airbender, that's an easy god tier. I don't think I need to explain why this is. This is just one of the greatest shows ever made, even outside of animation. It's fantastic. And it sucks that Netflix is currently mucking it up with their live-action remake, but what can you do? They want money. Ninjago. This is an interesting one. I really like Ninjago. It got pretty dark all the time, which is kind of Kind of wild for a Lego show. I'd put it in great, to be honest. There were definitely some seasons that I feel like weren't the best from this one. A lot more mediocre storytelling in some of them, just kind of like not really that high of stakes at all. Like I remember there was this one where there was like this evil genie or something, and I didn't really care for that season. Also, it's kind of wild how long the show was on the air for. I'm pretty sure it aired for like over 10 years, if I remember correctly. It was on for a long time. It's pretty good though. Like when Ninjago was good, it was really good. So I would put that in the great category. Easily the best Lego show too, bar none. Green Lantern the animated series. This is a really underrated show. I put this in great. This came out around the same time as the Green Lantern movie, actually, with Ryan Reynolds, which was not a good movie at all. Like one of the worst comic book movies ever made. But this show was actually good. Unlike that movie, this show actually understood Green Lantern as a character and also understood the comics and the source material and what makes Green Lantern a really compelling character. I really like this one, actually. They actually understood Hal Jordan, unlike the movie. And it kind of sucks this one was canceled because the movie was such a failure. I would have liked to see more of this, but, you know, sadly the movie was a huge bomb. It rightfully so for the movie, but it sucks this got canceled because of that. Spectacular Spider-Man, that is a god tier cartoon. I love this show. This is easily the best Spider-Man show in my opinion. Nothing else gets close to this. It's just such a natural feeling take on Peter Parker and his interactions with everybody around him. It might be like the most comic book accurate take on him, honestly, in any of the shows, I feel like. Like, a lot of the shows succeed at having a comic accurate take on Spider-Man, but a lot of them don't really do as good with fleshing out Peter Parker, I feel like. And this one really did a good job with that. This show was awesome. And sadly, kind of like a lot of good shows, it got screwed over by Disney. When Disney bought Marvel in 2009, this show ended up getting on the chopping block because it was made before Disney bought Marvel. And it was still airing around that time. So Disney aired like the last episode on Disney XD, and they cut out the audio too, from what I remember. So the final episode aired on Disney XD with no audio, which sucks. Really great show though. If you haven't checked that out, please do. It's amazing. What isn't so amazing though is Ultimate Spider-Man. Oh my god, I hated that show.
Oh God, please, no! 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 No!
Very, very mid. I hate Ultimate Spider-Man. A lot of the Disney, like, Marvel cartoons in general, I kind of dislike, if I'm being completely honest. This one was very bad. It was more like a Disney Channel show, masquerading as a Spider-Man cartoon, and they even had like a crossover with Jessie at one point, I'm pretty sure, which was really weird. I didn't like this one at all. I thought this was a terrible show. Well, not like terrible, but it's definitely a very mid Spider-Man show. What's even worse though is Marvel's Spider-Man. I hated that one even more. It was really bad though. They put even less effort, I feel like, on this one of actually fleshing out Spider-Man and making him compelling or interesting than this one did, which is saying a lot because this one didn't try either. BoJack Horseman, that's an easy godlike. Easy. Fun fact, I actually only saw this show this year because it's been recommended by a lot of people at this point, and I finally checked it out. It's good. There's not really a lot of other shows like this, I feel like, even outside of animation. Samurai Jack, that's another god tier. This list is actually off to a good start. Dang. Samurai Jack is amazing, and it's definitely Genndy Tartakovsky's best work. For those who don't know, he's the guy who made Dexter's Lab. He was a producer on the Powerpuff Girls, and eventually he went on to make Samurai Jack, which is probably just one of the best cartoons ever made. Such a distinctly like stylized show. It has one of the coolest looks to any cartoon ever. By the way, Aku is one of the best like balanced villains ever. He straddles the line between being comedic but also a legitimate threat so well, and that's a really hard thing to pull off in any media, I feel like, whether it's animated or not. And this show is like a masterclass in that. If you're wanting to write a villain like that, watch Samurai Jack. That is one of the best examples of it, in my opinion. Scooby-Doo, we're doing Scooby-Doo now. This is all Scooby-Doo coming up here. This was like the 2000s kind of reintroduction of Scooby-Doo, from what I recall. It's pretty good. I like it. I don't think it's as good as some of the ones that have been done since, to be fair, but it's still really good. Very iconic theme song. Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated, though, is god tier. Easily.
But you've got a job as a teacher. Why do you need more money?
Oh, yeah, my bad.
This is one of the best, I mean, to me, this is the best cartoon reboot ever. Like, it takes everything people loved about the original 60s Scooby-Doo show and just updates it in such a loving way. And it is the one Scooby-Doo show that will actually make you care about the main characters, too.
I have feelings, world, for Traps and Daphne. I'm a guy no more.
No other Scooby-Doo show has bothered really fleshing out Fred or Daphne or Velma or any of them, but this show did, and it's really good. Watch the show if you haven't, it's brilliant. Scooby-Doo and Guess Who? I think this is the most recent one. And the concept of this one is basically like Scooby-Doo meets a random celebrity or character kind of every episode. It always has a guest star, essentially. That's why it's Scooby-Doo and Guess Who. This one's pretty good too. I feel like there's some pretty great moments from this one, like Scooby-Doo at one point meets Wonder Woman. He's like totally infatuated with her, and it's really cute and kind of silly. I like this one. It's pretty wholesome. Be Cool Scooby-Doo. I think this one's underrated. I put that in great, actually. I like Be Cool Scooby-Doo more than Scooby-Doo Where Are You and Scooby-Doo and Guess Who, as weird as that might sound.
I'm a goth. A goth?
How do we defeat it?
No, goths are a subculture that began in the 1980s with the goth rock scene.
I really like this one. I think it has really good comedy, and it came right after Mystery Incorporated, which obviously was a much more serious show. So it was kind of nice to just have a purely, like, comedic Scooby-Doo. And this one gets really absurd with a lot of the comedy, too.
You, my son, are following a proud family tradition.
Even though I don't want to go here.
Neither did I, nor my father before me. But we're Kingston material, so we do.
That doesn't make sense.
That's exactly what I said to my father.
Wait, what?
And I said that too, and he said exactly what I'm saying to you right now, word for word.
How is that possible?
That's what I said.
It's a very absurdist show. Yeah. I like that kind of humor, though, so it really gelled with me. It might not be everyone's cup of tea with the kind of comedy they use, but I liked it. Velma, I mean, that's turn off the TV. That's pretty obvious. Velma's hot garbage.
What are you gonna do about that?
Like, I have no problem with a darker take on Scooby-Doo. Like, look, I put this in Godlike. Mr. Incorporated is the best example of how to do that. Velma, though, is basically everything wrong with trying to do a dark take on Scooby-Doo. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong with Velma. And the biggest issue I personally have with this show is that Velma never learns anything. Like, she constantly mistreats everybody around her, and she just gets away with it. She's a jerk to, everybody, actually. She's just so mean, for no reason. Like, if they had some sort of arc where she learned to not be like that, it would be better, but she doesn't, so, yeah. Tron Uprising, that's an easy god tier. Not even just because I like Tron a lot, but just because this is genuinely a really well-written show. And to me, Tron Uprising is the best thing in the Tron universe. I don't think it gets better than this. I think the other two movies even kind of pale in comparison to this in some ways. Tron Uprising really dives into like the world of the grid and what it's like for each program to be basically in a fascist society, but you don't really see like how each program is treated by the fascist government and what it means for their jobs and stuff. And this show shows that. And it's about like a mechanic program named Beck basically taking it upon himself because Tron tells him to disguise himself as Tron and try to be the symbol of hope for his city. To hopefully start an uprising, hence the name Tron Uprising. And like, he's just a normal mechanic program, but he has such a good heart that he's willing to do this for his friends, and it's really good. I do want to do a video on this show eventually, because I think there's a lot to say about it and what it really does right. But yeah, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. It is on Disney Plus, so you can watch it there. DuckTales 2017. This is almost God tier for me. This is almost there, because I really, really love this reboot a lot. There are a few things that hold it back for me, most notably the finale. Obviously, that's not like the writer's fault at all. Disney was trying to wrap up the show and cancel it there, so they had to essentially end everything in the third season, which wasn't the initial plan. So things are a little rushed in that final episode, which is unfortunate because I really like this reboot a lot. I think it does a lot of things right. I think one of the best things about the DuckTales reboot episode is that it does incorporate other, you know, Disney Afternoon characters like Gargoyles is in there, Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, of course, Tailspin, Darkwing Duck, like all those characters show up. Even Goofy from a Goof Troop is in there, but they don't incorporate them in like a fan servicey way. Like they're incorporated just naturally. Like they're only included when they fit the story. And I think that's so good. And a lot of shows or just media overall just don't do that anymore. Like they'll incorporate something just purely for fan service. But that, like the DuckTales reboot might be the last instance I can think of a show just incorporating like fan favorite characters just naturally. They did such a good job with that one. Powerpuff Girls. Oh wait, this is the 2010 reboot. At first I thought this was the 2000s version. That's the reboot. I'm gonna put that and turn off the TV. I hated this one. Kim Possible. That is an easy god tier. I love Kim Possible. That is a great show. Definitely one of the best Disney cartoons. It's really funny, has very smart humor. I think it's aged pretty well too. Like if I went back to this show, I feel like it's still probably, I think a lot of the jokes still hit pretty well. Also, fun fact, the writers of Kim Possible would go on to write Penguins of Madagascar, which I think is awesome because I love the Penguins of Madagascar. And they're also the only good part of the Madagascar movies, so there. Looney Tunes show, this is the sitcom from the 2010s, like the sitcom take on Looney Tunes. I'd honestly put that in godlike as well. Like, I really like this version. I remember when it came out, it got a lot of hate. Like, a lot of people were really mad, which sucks because I think this is a great version of them. Bob's Burgers. I really like this one. I put that in great. Bob's Burgers has a sense of humor that I really jive with. It's very dry humor, which I personally really like. That's my kind of comedy. So that's probably a big reason why I do enjoy this show so much, but it's also just pretty wholesome. Regular Show. Okay, this is god tier, easy. I love Regular Show. Regular Show like starts off, you know, just being this quirky show about two slackers who basically don't want to do anything and the hijinks that they get into and how it often ends up being really supernatural and silly. But it quickly evolves into being kind of like a deeper commentary on these characters, and you see them evolve and really develop over the course of it, like Mordecai learning to, well, not be a doormat for every woman in his life, namely Margaret. Like he learns to just not throw himself at her constantly, and Rigby is able to graduate from college, and it's just good. It's just really good. I freaking love this show. Regular Show is anything but a regular show. Adventure Time, also god tier. Wow, yeah, this list is starting off very well. Gravity Falls, wow. We really are starting off great. Easy god tier for that. This is like a perfect show. I think Gravity Falls is literally a perfect show. It's so good. There are some episodes that aren't the best, I will say, like the road trip episode. I didn't care for that. The roadside attraction one, that was a whatever episode. But like, unlike a lot of these other shows that obviously ran for longer and had more episodes that weren't exactly the best because of that, because they had more of a chance to do that since they ran for longer. Weirdly enough, even though Gravity Falls only ran for 2 seasons, that kind of worked to its benefit because it had less of a chance to slip up. Like it had a very tight story that it told very well, and it still managed to put a lot of development into each of his characters and just really make you love them. Jellystone, this is an interesting one. This is a lot more recent. This is a show from the creator of Chowder, actually. It very much has that Chowder sense of humor, given it came from the same guy. I'd put it in good. I think Chowder is a better show, but this one's still very good. Billy and Mandy, I'd put this in great. This is almost god tier for me. Pretty wild, surreal show. Static Shock, honestly, I put this in godlike. I love Static Shock. This is one of the first cartoons to really like tap into racism and stuff like that as well. And I remember when this came out, this was a big deal. It made a lot of waves because of that, and it's a really good show. It totally holds up too with a lot of the things they tackle. It's one of those shows you watch as a kid and then you grow to love more as an adult just because of how deeply it taps into so many different things. It's just good. It's aged very, very well. Definitely check out Static Shock if you haven't. One of the best DC shows ever. Next up, we have Gumball, which, as far as like pure comedy cartoons go, this is my favorite, and this is very easily a god tier cartoon for me. I love Gumball. Gumball is so funny. It has some of the best like meta humor, kind of like Sonic Boom. Like this show is just so funny. and it's always firing on all cylinders, I feel like. And I'm very, very glad they're finally getting another season for it this year, because, yeah, if any show deserves it, it's Gumball. Amphibia. I really like Amphibia, actually. I wouldn't say... I'm close to putting in Godlike. Ooh, because I really like this one. I'll put it in Godlike, I think. I really like it. Dan Versus. Oh, this is an interesting one. I'd put this in great. Dan Versus is very underrated. This is actually a show that aired on Hub Network around the same time. I think like My Little Pony and Transformers Prime or whatever were airing on there. Love, Death, and Robots. I haven't seen this yet, but I've heard it's good. Infinity Train. Ooh, this is an interesting one. I like Infinity Train. I wouldn't say it's godlike. It's very, very good, and it's pretty close to being godlike in my opinion. I think the only thing that really hampers it is, and this isn't Owen Dennis's fault, obviously, this is not the creator's fault, the fact that this story definitely does feel incomplete with it, unfortunately, because for those who don't know, Owen Dennis, the creator of Infinity Train, wanted to have, I think, like 8 different seasons to essentially get the full story of the train and unravel all the mysteries about it, which I think would have been really cool, and that's obviously very ambitious. Unfortunately, he only got 4 seasons, of course, which, not gonna lie, that's still a lot. Like, as far as animated TV shows go, or really just television overall, there is no guarantee you will get another season. Getting a second season oftentimes these days is lucky. Getting 4 seasons is wild, but the demand was there, so that's why Max did let him make a 3rd and 4th season exclusively for that platform. It's a very good show. Not much in that scenario. Okay, next up we have Teen Titans Go, which I'm gonna be completely honest, I think this show is pretty overhated. I don't think it's a good show. I'm gonna say that straight up. I'm gonna put it in not great, because I can't reasonably say it's a good show. It is pretty annoying, and I feel like they do kind of have some bad messages in this show, but like I don't know, it got a lot of hate when it came out, and it got kind of old after a while. Although I can sort of understand some more reasonable criticisms of it, like how Cartoon Network airs this show a lot more than a lot of their other shows, and that kind of conflicts with like new up-and-coming shows that they might air, and they might just kind of get pushed out of view of people. The show itself isn't that great, honestly. It's kind of annoying, not really my kind of thing. I understand why people might enjoy it though, as like a more comedic take on Teen Titans, like the original show, but it's not really my thing. The Tom and Jerry show, I actually really like this one. Maybe a hot take here as well, but I think Tom and Jerry is a perfect cartoon. I think it's timeless. A lot of those original cartoons, like from the 60s, you can go back and still enjoy them to this day, in my opinion. Like, I was just in a 60s themed diner the other day, and there was an old guy there, and they were playing Tom and Jerry, and he was like laughing his butt off. I think that's a testament to how universal and how timeless Tom and Jerry is. Avengers Assemble. Oh god, I'm putting that in mid. I'm tired of these Disney Marvel shows. Funny enough, Star Wars Rebels, which did also air on Disney XD, was actually a good show. This is actually very well done. It's not as good as Clone Wars, but it's still pretty darn good. I like this one. Guardians of the Galaxy. This is another Disney Marvel show. I don't like this one. Again, it's mid. I think all of these really suck. Same with Hulk Agents of Smash. I'm just gonna put all of these in there. Big Hero 6, the series, which funnily enough is another Marvel animated series on Disney, is actually pretty good in my opinion. I think this one's solid. It's pretty solid. Beware the Batman. This is mid. Harley Quinn though is actually a pretty great DC show. I honestly didn't think I liked this when it was coming out. I thought it would just be, you know, constant edgy jokes and nothing really of substance, but it's pretty good. Justice League Action. Never seen that. I've never seen Max Steel, I've never seen Miraculous Ladybug, never seen that. Super Mansion, never seen that. TMNT from 2014, I have seen this. This is a good show. I do think the best TMNT show for me at least is the 2003 version. This one's still pretty good though. The 2003 version is the best at really tackling darker stuff and making the Turtles feel like a band of brothers just fighting against oppression and also trying to stay in the shadows, you know, hide from humans, make sure people don't know they exist while they fight Shredder and the Foot Clan. And the 80s cartoon obviously did the best with like more comedic, goofy stuff. And the 2014 one, this one kind of does the best at like blending those two tones. So I like that one a lot. That's pretty good. Rise of TMNT, that one's also very good. This one got a lot of hate when it came out, and I don't really know why. A lot of people didn't like the art change, from what I heard. I don't know why they disliked it, because I think it's still just as good as this show. So I don't know why this one got so much hate. It's weird. All right, then. Young Justice. I don't think I ever saw that one. Ben 10 Ultimate Alien. Oh, this is all Ben 10 stuff? So, we'll start with the first Ben 10, which I would actually consider godlike. I think this is a perfect show. I think it's paced really well. It has incredible pacing, actually. I think this is one of the best paced cartoons out there. It gives you like enough, like it drip feeds enough information to the audience to kind of help them slowly unravel the mystery of the Omnimatrix. What is the deal with Ben's grandpa, kind of knowing about it. And there hasn't really been anything like it. Even with all the other Ben 10 shows that came after, I still think this is the best one, easily. There's nothing else quite like this one. It's very good. After that, we had Ben 10 Alien Force, which I would still consider great. Like, this is still a good show. They added more aliens, obviously. It's still pretty well paced. I do think there are a lot more filler episodes in this one, from what I recall, though. So I remember kind of not being as into this one, but it's still very good. Ben 10 Ultimate Alien. This one's a bit harder for me. I still like it, but there are some moments that I think I recall from this show where Ben was just straight up unlikable. So I'd put it more in the good category than great. Because this is definitely where they had a lot of moments where Ben was just like kind of detestable, and it was hard to root for him at that point. Thankfully, most of the show overall makes you want to root for him and is still pretty solid. But I remember there were a lot of moments in that where you just couldn't. It was kind of bad for that. Ben 10 Omniverse. I think this show got a lot of hate when it came out. A lot of people did not like Ben 10 Omniverse when it launched. Again, it's because of the art style change. That's always when somebody judges a show, when it changes its art style. But this one is still good. It's just as good as Alien Force in my opinion. Still not as good as the original, but it's still pretty solid. I like it. This is the reboot, which very drastically changed the art style. I'd put this in mid, and obviously not because of the art style change, but just because I didn't find it that good. This one completely rebooted Ben 10. It took it back to the beginning with the new art style, but I didn't think it was that good, to be honest. It was very just bland. It didn't have nearly as much like charm as the first one did. New Looney Tunes, also mid. I didn't like this at all. This was I think a reboot of Looney Tunes that came out in the mid-2010s, and it was essentially like a reimagining of classic Looney Tunes shorts for Cartoon Network. I didn't like this one, honestly. I don't think they did nearly as good of a job as previous incarnations had. Generator Rex, never seen that. Alvin, never seen that. Wait, when did Alvin get his own CGI show? What? Okay. Bluey is God tier. I feel like I don't need to elaborate on that. Bunnicula, that one's an interesting one. Bunnicula is a bit hard for me because I actually read the books a lot as a kid that these are based on, and because of that I ended up watching this show. I don't think the show is really that funny though. It sort of tries to emulate Tom and Jerry energy, I feel like, but it's not. It doesn't really have the charm that has. Also, the dog and the cat character are very different in this show from how they are in the books, believe it or not. Like in the books, the dog is essentially the sole protector of Bunnicula, and the cat is like really paranoid and just wants to kill him. And it's kind of reversed a little bit in the show. Like the cat is the smart one, and the dog is really stupid. Carmen Sandiego, never seen. Craig at the Creek, never seen. DC Superhero Girls, never seen. Never seen that. I know of it though. It's Latina Disney princess. Never seen Push Hooks. Never seen G.I. Joe. Never seen Hero 108. Kick Patowski I've seen. Oh, it's pretty good. It's solid. Mad. Oh my god. Okay, so Mad I have a lot to say on. Mad is a very 2010 show. Maybe the most like early 2010 show I've ever seen. Because, you know, like it's based on Mad Magazine, and because of that, it parodies a lot of things. But everything parodied in Mad was only relevant in either the late 2000s or the early 2010s. So it's more like just parodying this specific pocket of time rather than having more general parodies that might age better. And I didn't really like it because of that. I mean, if you go back and rewatch it, it hasn't aged very well, for sure. Monsters vs. Aliens, turn off the TV. for sure. I hate that movie, and I hate the show tied with it. My Little Pony, never seen. Axe Cop, never seen. OKKO, I've seen that one. That's pretty good. I like that show. Never seen that. I don't even know what that is. Never seen that. Planet Sheen, turn off the TV. Randy Cunningham, 9th grade ninja. I've heard of this one, but I haven't seen it. I'll check it out someday. Sidekick, never seen. Summer Camp Island, I've heard of too. Never seen that though. Puss in Boots, never seen that show. Crossing Swords, never seen. Mother, never seen. What? Mother Up? What are these? Never even heard of any of these. Never seen that. Big Mouth, thank God I haven't seen. I know enough about it to know not to watch it, but yeah, haven't seen it. Doozers, never seen that, although I like Fraggle Rock, so maybe someday I'll watch that. F is for Family, never seen that. Never seen that. Lion Guard I've seen, it's pretty cute. Pretty inoffensive, I like it. You know, it's Lion King. What's not to love? The Lion King is amazing, one of Disney's greatest. Back when they still made good movies. Lighthouse, never seen, never will, knowing how Chris Savino is. Madison School Bus, never seen the reboot. Total Drama-Rama. Okay, so confession, I've never seen Total Drama anything. So I haven't seen this either. I've never seen any of the Total Drama shows. I've heard they're good, though. Top Puppy, never seen. Uncle Grandpa, never seen. That, I've never seen. Bunsen and the Beast, I've never seen. Red Winters, never seen. Kid Danger, never seen. Casa Grandes, I know that's tied to Loud House, never seen it. Sanjay and... Oh, God. Okay, I have seen Sanjay and Craig, sadly. That's another turn off the TV. Mixels, never seen. Apple and Onion, I like this one, actually. I'd put that in... Probably pretty good. It's a very British show. It has very British humor. But it's pretty good, actually. It has like a nice, surreal, chill vibe. It's a really hard show to describe, but it's like really chill. It's kind of a nice show just to vibe to. Go watch it if you haven't. It's good. It's a good show. Mighty Swords, never seen. Never seen whatever that is. Nope. Haven't seen so many of these. Big City Greens I've heard is pretty good. I've never seen Big City Greens though. I have heard it's good. Dawn and the Crudes, never seen. Disenchantment, never seen. I know that's a Matt Groening show though. Never seen that. Never seen that. Oh, there's so many I haven't seen. Haven't seen either of the Voltron shows. I've heard they're good though. Wander Over Yonder, I have seen this one. I think this one's kind of underrated, to be honest. For those who don't know, this is made by the creator of Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends and also the Powerpuff Girls for Cartoon Network. He went on to work with Disney to make this show, which I think is pretty good. Never seen that. Never seen Bless the Hearts. A lot of these look like anti-woke shows, honestly. I feel like a lot of these probably are. Ugly Americans, never seen that. Undone, never seen that. Oh, House of Mouse. I love House of Mouse. Maybe a hot take here, but I'm gonna put that in godlike. House of Mouse is so unique. The concept is just that Mickey Mouse runs like a club, like a nightclub or whatever. He hosts it, and all the Disney characters come in and, you know, watch cartoons there and enjoy themselves and have dinner and stuff. And it's just it's a very like gag-based show. That's sort of the appeal of it. A lot of the gags between different Disney characters and their interactions together, because they have like the entire history of Disney animation up until that point in this show, which I think is really impressive. And sadly, you can't watch it on Disney Plus because they haven't put it on there. I don't know why, but you can watch it on YouTube. I think the full show is actually available on YouTube if you want to check it out. That's good. I recommend it. I already rated Amphibia. I'm not sure why that's on here again, but whatever. This list has some issues. Legend of Korra. Not as good as Avatar, but it's still good. I think it has a lot of very strong moments overall. The second season is definitely not great. I don't like the second season of this show. I think it definitely picked itself up after that, though, in the third season, and it does redeem itself. Yeah, it's a good one. I like it. Brickleberry. I've heard of this. I'm pretty sure this is another anti-woke show, so I won't be watching it. But, yep. Wow, there's so many of these on this list. Jesus. Castlevania, never seen. Heard it's good, though. Never seen that. Never seen Dragon's Isle of Berk, or whatever that is. Final Space. I've heard of this. It's on my list, but I haven't seen it yet. Hilda I have seen. I like Hilda. It's a really pleasant show. This one's really nice. It's based on the old German folktale about Hilda the Good Witch. And yeah, it's just really good. Very pleasant show. I like that one. Kung Fu Panda, both of these I haven't seen. I know of them though. I think they aired on like Nickelodeon, or at least one of them did. Over the Garden Wall. That's a really good one. I feel like I put that in Godlike as well, honestly. There hasn't really been a show like Over the Garden Wall since it came out. It's just kind of in a league of its own, yeah. It's awesome. What a great show. Rick and Morty, I've seen this one. I don't know how I'd judge it. I'd probably say good. Like, obviously, it's sort of a bit tainted now, knowing how Justin Roiland is as a person and the things he's done. But I do judge shows just based on their content rather than the person itself, because I think that's fair criticism. She-Ra. I really like She-Ra. She-Ra goes in God tier. That's another example of how you do a cartoon reboot correctly. Great autism representation in this show, by the way, and yeah, just fantastic. They took like a nothing cartoon from the 80s and made it so much more. Fantastic. Star vs. the Forces of Evil. I would... that's pretty close to turn off the TV, but it does have some good moments, but I put it in not great because it really failed to stick the landing, sadly. Another Star Wars cartoon, never seen that one. Steven Universe, y'all are gonna hate me. I've never seen Steven Universe, ever. I need to though, maybe, I don't know. Let me know in the comments if I need to watch Steven Universe. Deep, never seen that. Dragon Prince, never seen that. Hollow, I have seen. Okay, so I don't really like the Hollow. Maybe this is a hot take, but I thought that was really mid. I thought I had an interesting idea. I remember seeing the trailer for this one when it came out like on Netflix years ago. The idea of, you know, a bunch of kids kind of in this sort of like Kids on Bikes type setting, basically, where they wake up amnesic in this hole and they have to get out. They go through all these different like crazy environments and meet these crazy characters throughout it. It has a very eerie vibe to it. It's really unique for an animated show, but I didn't really find it that good. It's really mid in my opinion. I didn't like the Hollow at all. It sucks. A premise like that could have really gone somewhere, but I think they did kind of just not really flesh it out as much as they could have. Thundercats reboot. This is amazing. I love this one. This is another one like of those cartoon reboots that I think are really great. Yeah, I really like this one. This is the 2010 Cartoon Network reboot of Thundercats, and I think they did an awesome job in this one. They updated the art style to be more like anime-esque, even more so than the original 80s show was, and they obviously make Lion-O not a fool like he kind of is in the original show. They flesh out the world so well in this one too. Like the world building in 2010 Thundercats is amazing. I love this one. And sadly it got really done dirty by Warner Brothers because it only got one season. Then they got canned, which sucks. I really like that one. It got done very dirty. Transformers Cyberverse, never seen that. Transformers Prime, I've heard of it, but never seen. Troll Hunters, never seen that. Three Below. Oh, Tuca and Birdie, I've seen. That one's pretty good. It's a very silly show. You know, it's very, very zany. I like it though. I don't know. It's kind of like a fun vibe show. Sort of like Apple and Onion. I get like the same kind of enjoyment from Apple and Onion that I get out of Tuca and Birdie. It's just a fun vibe. You know, nothing wrong with that. I can like turn on either of these shows when I'm having a bad day and just kind of like zone out to them and just enjoy them. And that sometimes I need that for sure. Especially this year, I've needed that a lot more than usual. We Bare Bears, I've never seen that. Mau Mau, I have seen. That's a good show. I like Mau Mau. Unfortunately, that's another one that got done really dirty by Cartoon Network. But I like it. It's great, I'd say. Really cute cat characters. Really great like fantasy hero story. Clarence, never seen. Never seen that. Huh, I don't even know what that is. Symbiotic Titan. Okay, I really like this one. This was like Eddie Tartakovsky's show, just like Samurai Jack. But unfortunately, unlike Samurai Jack, it got done very dirty by Cartoon Network when it came out. Wow, funny how often that happens, huh? I think it only got like one season, and I don't even remember the amount of episodes. I'd have to look this up later, but it got done pretty dirty by them. They aired it, I think they aired the first episode like at midnight when nobody was watching, kind of like what Disney did for Tron Uprising The first episode aired at midnight on Disney XD when nobody was watching it. And I'm pretty sure Cartoon Network did the same thing for Symbionic Titan, which sucks, because both are awesome. Primal easily goes in godlike. Primal is like one of the best examples of animation being an art form and not just a genre, like a lot of people seem to think, unfortunately, especially in Western civilization. Like, Primal is very much not for kids. It is very hard adult show. And I don't even mean adult just like in the sense it has a lot of gore and stuff. I mean adult in the sense it tackles a lot of introspective themes that, you know, kids aren't really gonna get. Like, it really dives deeply into like the man's psyche after seeing this dinosaur kill his family, and like the bond he's forced to like create with it. And it's so good. It's one of his best things. Like, this and Samurai Jack, in my opinion, are the best shows that Genndy Tartakovsky has ever made, and he's incredible. What a fantastic auteur. Border Chat, never seen that. 7D, never seen. Green Eggs and Ham. I heard this was good, actually. I've never seen Green Eggs and Ham, though. Pen Zero, never seen. Welcome to Wayne, never seen. Milo Murphy's Law, I have seen. I didn't like this as much as Phineas and Ferb, but it's alright. I put it in probably good, if anything. It's fine. Because Phineas and Ferb, speaking of which, I'm just gonna cut right to that. That is a god tier show in my opinion. I feel like it's pretty hard to deny this show is awesome, and it's perfect in pretty much every way. Harvey Beaks, never seen. Last Kids on Earth, never seen. Ruby, Ruby, I have some thoughts on. I've seen this one. It's alright. I put it probably in good, I guess. It's fine, I suppose. It's alright. Flapjack, I like Flapjack. I put that in great. That's a very good cartoon. Also very influential. I don't think you would have a lot of the other cartoons that are on this list without Flapjack, because the creator of Regular Show started working on Flapjack. The creator of Adventure Time got started working on Flapjack, and the creator of Gravity Falls as well. So yeah, a lot of those guys all came from this show, which I think is funny to look at now. Hazbin Hotel, never seen. I've heard it's good though. Let me know down below if I should watch it. Clone Wars. This is, well, let's start with the 2003 micro series. 2003 Clone Wars, like the micro series. That one's really good. I like that one. It's great. I think the one that came after it is better, admittedly. This one specifically. I think this is a god tier show. 2003 micro series is still very good, but yeah, it has like really good action and stuff. It's very well animated because, you know, it's Genndy Tartakovsky, but like this is the pinnacle of Star Wars animation overall. It does not get better than this in my opinion. I love that show. And maybe a hot take, but I think Star Wars The Clone Wars is the best thing in the Star Wars universe. Easily. Owl House, still need to watch. Unicorn Warriors Eternal, this is a very underrated one. I feel like I've seen every single Genndy Tartakovsky cartoon. Huh, it's funny. Because I picked out all the ones on this list. This one did get screwed over though, unfortunately, just like Symbionic Titan. It aired on Adult Swim, I think, in 2021. And this was, I forget exactly, I don't think it was even advertised at all, sadly. Like, people in the know knew it was coming out, but unfortunately, like, the majority of people don't even know this show exists because Cartoon Network didn't bother advertising it at all. And heck, Max didn't even advertise this at all either. I don't think you can even watch this show on Max anymore, which sucks because it's good. Really awesome art style. Has like this kind of like a retro, like Betty Boop, like 1930s Popeye type aesthetic. Super, super cool show. Sadly got done very dirty, which sucks. So I like it. The Penguins of Madagascar, I like this one. This is, I mean, I'd probably put this in God tier, just because I really love the penguins. They're great. They're the only good parts of the Madagascar movies, in my opinion, where they're legitimately really funny, and their show was just more of that. It was so good. Like the same level of just brilliant comedy between these four like military grade penguins. It's just awesome. I love them. The penguins are always funny. Some of the funniest animated characters ever. Danny Phantom. I've never seen that actually, believe it or not. Oh no, my gym partner's a monkey. I didn't like that one. Yeah, that's mid show. I wasn't a fan. Duck Dodgers, I like that one. Duck Dodgers is pretty good. I'd put that in yeah, I'd put that in great. I like it. It's solid. Good reimagining of Looney Tunes. I haven't seen Common Side Effects yet, but I've heard it's good. Robot Chicken, I'd put that in, yeah. Not great, probably. I wouldn't put it in Turn Off the TV, because Robot Chicken does have some skits that I do think are pretty good, and actually kind of funny. But most of it is just, like, I don't know, kind of pointless edge, basically. Like, it's either characters from your childhood, like, I don't know, getting, like, blown up or having sex with each other, and it's just not really that interesting, to be honest. I'm not a fan of this one. I do think there are some skits that are actually kind of funny from it, but not the majority of them. It's mostly just stupid. Chowder is god tier, easily. Chowder is one of the funniest cartoons ever made. And without it, you wouldn't have a lot of these other shows like Jellystone, obviously, but you wouldn't have Gumball without Chowder either. So Chowder was definitely like definitely a pioneer for a lot of these other cartoons that came later. Batman the Brave and the Bold. I'd put that in great, honestly. This show got a ton of hate when it came out. I don't really know why, to be honest. I think it's good. I don't care what anyone says. I love Batman the Brave and the Bold. Johnny Test. I don't like this. This is Turn Off the TV for me. I hate Johnny Test. Lilo and Stitch the series. This one's pretty good. I put that in probably the good category, to be honest. I like Lilo and Stitch the series. It's basically just Pokemon with Lilo and Stitch, but I don't care. I love it. It's Lilo and Stitch, what's not to love? El Tigre! This one's kind of underrated too. Fun fact, by the way, the creator of El Tigre actually was recently diagnosed as autistic, and because of that, he discovered that this character that he based on himself as a kid was also autistic, so that's cool. We have a confirmed autistic character here, because the creator realized he was autistic later on in life. I think that's really neat. Justice League Unlimited, I like this one. This is an easy god tier for me. This is like, apart from Batman the Animated Series, this is like the DC animation at their best, easily. And Static Shock, of course. Like, those are kind of the three big ones for me. Yeah, Justice League Unlimited is awesome. Very good show. God tier. One of the best cartoons ever made. Static Shock is on here twice for some reason. Teen Titans, like the original. I like this one. It's great. I feel like I don't need to say why it's great for sure, but yeah, it's an awesome show. Camp Lazlo. I put this more in mid, unfortunately, which sucks. I actually like the other show from this creator. The creator of Camp Lazlo also made Rocko's Modern Life, which is my favorite Nicktoon, actually. I really like Rocko a lot. I wasn't as big on Camp Lazlo. It's fine, I guess. I think Rocko's Modern Life is a lot more funny, though. Camp Lazlo is kind of more mediocre with its comedy, but yeah, it's fine, I guess. Mid. Foster's is god tier, easily. I love Foster's. That is a great show. So creative, so funny. I own the full set on DVD, actually, of this show. Liberty's Kids, I like this one. This is a more underrated show, I feel like, too. There's a lot of good picks here for underrated cartoons. And you wouldn't see a show like that today, by the way. There's never going to be something like Liberty's Kids again. Venture Brothers, that's also great. Very good show. Great, like, update to Johnny Quest, essentially. But also aged up. 2003 TMNT, god tier, easily. This is 100% a god tier show, in my opinion. This is, yeah, it does not get better than this, in my opinion, for TMNT. This is by and large the best TMNT show. They put out a DVD set for this, I think, recently. For like the 20th anniversary. I think they put out like 2 years ago. I need to get it. I need to get the DVD set still. The Cleveland Show. Oh no. Okay, that's going in. Turn off the TV. Yep. Yeah. No Cleveland Show for me. Nope. No way. X-Men Evolution. I like this one. This was more like a teen drama. Kind of look at X-Men overall. I put it in great. I think there are better X-Men cartoons out there. Like X-Men 97. I think is the best it's ever been, actually. But this one's still pretty solid. You know, it's good. I have nostalgia for it. Lunatics Unleashed. Never saw that. Arcane. I have yet to see Arcane still, believe it or not. I gotta watch it more. Megas XOR I have seen though, and that's a good show. Codename Kids Next Door, that is another god tier for me. This was a really pioneering show in my opinion. It was one of the first cartoons to really introduce a lot more serialized storytelling, like with things from previous episodes carrying over into later episodes. There wasn't really anything like this show at the time, and yeah, it was very influential. I love it. It's great. Tangled the series, I like this one. I think this is actually better than Big Hero 6 the series. It takes place after Tangled, much like how Big Hero 6 the series takes place after Big Hero 6. I think this one's better though. I think it has more going on. There's a lot of great musical numbers on this show too. They have a lot of like songs that are actually very well produced, surprisingly. It's good. I recommend it. Harvey Birdman. I love Harvey Birdman. That's a great show. For those that don't know, Harvey Birdman is basically like a... it's sort of like a satire of a lot of old Hanna-Barbera shows, but specifically in a court setting, with Harvey Birdman being, you know, an attorney, and him having to prosecute a lot of different Hanna-Barbera characters. It's really unique. There hasn't really been a show like this since, I guess. Even Jellystone, you know, doesn't really get to this level. It's pretty wild. I like it. It's a classic. Wolverine vs. the X-Men. This one's pretty solid. I put this in good. I think it's a good show. Fun fact, by the way, there was a movie that actually tied into this show called Hulk vs. Wolverine, which came out before Disney owned Marvel. And it's also a pretty good movie. Pretty solid. Bad Batch. Bad Batch is pretty good. It's definitely still not as good as Clone Wars, which is pretty hard to beat, to be fair. You know, it's still good. I like it. Nothing wrong with it. I feel like it doesn't get talked about very much, though. X-Men 97, that's an easy god tier for me. Easy. I loved X-Men 97, and it was way better than I was expecting. X-Men 97 is really smart with how it approaches stuff, because it's definitely aimed more at adults than the original show was, because it's targeting, like, the kids who grew up with the show, who are adults now, and dealing with very different issues than they would have been dealing with as kids in the 90s. So this one tackles very specific, like, societal struggles, like raising a family, like, you know, just living in today's society overall with inflation and everything. It's really good. It's an awesome show, and it's very much in the spirit of the original X-Men cartoon. I like this one a lot. Very good show. Oh god, the last one I have to talk about is the Garfield show. I don't like this one. This probably goes and turn off the TV for me. I don't like the Garfield show. Yeah, this one's really gross looking in my opinion. I think it has really ugly just CGI. It looks really plasticky and clay. So fun fact about this show, it was actually animated in France, unlike a lot of the other Garfield stuff that had been made previously. Like the holiday specials or like the old Garfield and Friends cartoon, which I actually think Garfield and Friends is a pretty good show. I think it's aged relatively well. And like, I can go back to those shows and the holiday specials and just kind of enjoy the charm of them. This one though, yeah, it's not charming and it's really unfunny and just really unpleasant to look at too. It's so ugly. I hate this show. I really didn't like it. But yeah, I guess that's actually it for all the cartoons. We ranked 206 cartoons. We did it. Wow. Dang. Kind of wild I got through all this. I thought I was gonna die while doing this, but I didn't, and that's great. Comment down below if you want to see more ranking videos overall. Obviously, they're a lot easier for me to do than my general video essay stuff, so if you want to see more like this, just let me know. You can also subscribe if you haven't already. I put a lot of effort in my videos overall, so be sure to subscribe and support what I do in general. You can also join my Discord if you want to suggest something for me to cover here on YouTube, because we have a suggestions and questions channel in there for you to do that. Also check out my letterbox if you haven't already. That's where you can see what I have reviewed. That's not always covered here on YouTube, so you can kind of see what I've been watching lately through that. But anyways, I've been Otterly Noah, and I'll see you on the other side. Bye!